So I want to talk to you about something that doesn't really get enough attention in SMS marketing, and that's your inactive subscribers. If you've had an SMS list for more than 6 months and you've never done any kind of list cleanup, a really good chance that you're paying to text people who are actually never going to buy from you. And what's kind of wild is that the bigger that your list gets without cleaning it, the worse your deliverability gets and your open rates actually become, and also is going to affect your overall list quality. So what I want to show you today is how to build a sunset flow inside of TxtCart that automatically identifies who's checked out, give them one more shot to re-engage, and if they don't respond, we remove them from the active list, so every dollar you spend on SMS marketing is actually working. We're going to be doing this inside of the new flows section within TxtCart 4.0 and everything they're rolling out. They're doing some incredible things here, and I'm very excited to jump in. This is what we're going to be working with today. Now, if you want to navigate over to your flows, we're going to be using this one to set up the test. You can come to this page right here in flows and click create flow. And you can go and click use flow template. This flow template is then going to allow you to select and go through and create any different SMS flow that you want. But we're going to be doing today, we're going to do the sunset flow. I'm going to go back over to here where we've already started setting up the sunset flow right here. And let's get into it and let's walk through. So there's lots of different things that you can do here in terms of segmentation, but we're going to go through and I'm just going to talk through some of the main things on what this sunset flow does. But oftentimes the reason that you want to set something like this up is because over time you're going to get, and this applies to email as well, is email and SMS, you're going to get tons of subscribers and you're going to be paying a certain monthly rate and also a certain amount per text. And if they're just not engaged, it's wasting money and it's affecting your ROI on your SMS or email. And so with some of the stuff that we've done within Klaviyo as well with our email lists, we've had a list of say 80,000 people, but then 20 to 30,000 of them are just inactive, and so we're wasting money on our plan because we're paying for an extra amount. So we have to get that list cleaned and make sure that we have this all set up. So the first thing we have is our trigger, and this is basically when a subscriber joins. So we're going to have a subscriber join, and then over here we have a lot of different customizations. And again, we're not going to kind of go through every single detail of this, but just to highlight a few things, right? We can have a subscriber filter. We can have the frequency filter. So for example, we may not want to do this all the time, but let's say we do this, once a month, we have 30 days, right? Or sorry, not 30 months. We want in 30 days, subscriber, once they enter the flow in the last 30 days, we want to make sure that we send them this flow. We also have a subscriber filter. So this is where we can kind of select anything related to this specific subscriber. So let's say that within this sunset flow, we want to have a subscriber who has clicked, or a subscriber who has, or a customer who's been created, or a subscriber created date. We can set filters around that, but we're just going to keep it to subscriber joined once per subscriber. And then our compliance is going to be promotional. And then we've also got the cancellation trigger is order place. So basically, they'll run through this flow, and if they end up purchasing, then they'll be removed from this flow and moved into another segment or another flow, right? So let's kind of break down and have a look at what we got here. Let's zoom in just a little bit here. Let's have a look. So we've got subscriber joined. Then we've got wait, right? So wait time is 6 months. So, we might need to wait, a shorter period of time. For this purpose, we're going to do 90 days. Okay. So 90 days. They haven't purchased anything. This may also overlap with, say, a win-back campaign. So, actually, because of that win-back campaign, we're going to actually set this. Let's do 4 months here, and then we click save down here. All right, cool. And then we want to send message. So this is where we send this message. Now, the great thing about TxtCart is they make it so easy for you to set up these messages and use messages that have been proven to work at different stages of the funnel. So you don't need to do a lot of customization. You can keep them generally the same structure. And they also have a best practices as well. We've also made lots more videos on the channel about that as well. So with that said, we can see here, it says, hey, first name. I was going through our subscriber list and noticed you've been with us for a while now and haven't ordered anything. I don't want to bother you with our promotions and messages if you don't need them or want them. So if you'd like to stay on the list, please reply with stay. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and downgrade your account. No hard feelings, right? You're always welcome to reply stop and unsubscribe well. So it's got this, compliance thing here as well. And we can send this message off and they can reply, right? And so this helps us segment out. So you can see here that there's also a response received section right here. Let's scroll down here a little bit. And this response, we're going to listen for 2 days and wait till they respond. And if they don't respond, we're going to activate another message. But if they do respond, we're going to activate this side. And within this side, we're going to then send them a message and say, yay. Well, it sounds a little cheesy for us. Let's say awesome. Okay. You just flow a little bit. Say awesome. I'm so glad you want to stick around. As a thanks for being here, here's 5% off to help you officially become a GameNetics customer, right? I'll insert your shop name. Discount automatically applied here. Coupon expires at midnight, right? So you're creating some urgency at the end. You're getting them to click the link, getting them to buy something, and then now they're officially a member. You can see that there's a level of status that you feel when you read this as a customer. You're like, oh, damn, like they reached out to me, they're giving me a discount, and they want me to become a customer. There's kind of a cool, cool flow here within the sunset flow. So let's actually keep this message the same, and then we're going to click save. And then we save this message. So you can see here that if we go down here, it's going to end flow because we've sent them this message. And you can see that there's a bit of an overlap too with this message and say the abandoned cart sequence, but we're approaching them from a different angle, which is that like, hey, we've noticed that you haven't engaged, you haven't purchased. We want to reactivate them, or we want to activate them and get them to purchase. This is going to help them do that, right? Now, not received. What are we going to do after they are not received, right? So we've got this second message that goes out. We're going to say, hey, just wanted to make sure you saw a message about stay on the list. We certainly don't want to bug you. If you want to stay on the list, reply with stay, or you can reply with stop to unsubscribe. So basically giving them two options, stay or stop, and they can reply, and that is going to be the end of that engagement. It's going to listen for a response here for 2 days. We're going to wait to see if they respond within that time frame. And then we have received and not received. So if we add a tag here, right? So we can add a tag. You can do so over here as well in the actions. You can say add tag. And we're going to have the tag also be unengaged, right here. And that is going to basically pull them out of the list, the active list. And we're no longer going to text them anymore, right? So we give them 2 chances. So that is that step. And then if we have received, then we send them the same kind of message that we sent over here, right? Which is like, awesome. So glad you want to stick around. Thanks for being here. Here's the 5% off. Save that. And now we have completed this sunset flow. So within this flow, this is going to allow you to separate the people from who are going to buy and who are going to unengage. It's going to help you save money. Now you can set up other messages in here. Like for example, we could add, say, a decision, and then we could have a decision tree out. And did they purchase or did they not purchase? If they didn't purchase, we can then send another message saying, hey, is there anything that we can help you with? And that can also be sent out to them as well. And we can end the flow. So this is kind of the sunset flow. Hopefully this has been helpful to kind of go through and give you a bit of a sense of like why you might apply a sunset flow, how this can be helpful for your business. And if you haven't already, make sure you go and sign up for TxtCart down below in the description. 14-day free trial, $1,000 in SMS credits for free. Ultimately, it is going to help change your business and bring in more revenue. We've seen this happen for us with GameNetics, and we have been able to generate quite a significant amount of revenue with TxtCart over the course of the last couple of years, around 100K. And you can do the same too. So links down below in the description. Appreciate you watching this video. Check out this video next, and I'll see you in the next one.